And the story that I want to share is something that happened to me around the end of 2018. I was 21 and I was looking for a job, and there was a notification about it on internet. So instead of sending my CV, I decided to call them and kind of like ask them about the job directly. So I did that and called them, told them I was interested and if I could come for an interview. And the woman on the phone was really excited, and she didn't ask much about me. She just said, "Yeah, you can come tomorrow." And I actually suggested that I would send my CV so they would kind of know who I was before I would come into the interview, and that was okay with her. And so the next step was that I sent my CV, and my CV has my picture on it, and obviously I'm black. So after that, I didn't hear anything from her. And so the next day I called to ask her because she was supposed to send me the address of where I was supposed to come and do the interview. So I called the next day and I asked her where was the interview gonna happen and at what time should I come. And she told me that the job was no longer available, that they found someone who is more suitable and someone who knows more about Finnish trees and Finnish furniture, something like that. Mind you, this job was about customer service. I was like, okay, I kind of like understood what she meant, but I just let it go. After a few days, I was on my way home. It was like probably at like 9 o'clock. I used to live in Porvo. Nowadays, I live in Helsinki. So I was on my way home in the bus, and she called me, and I was actually surprised. And so she told me that the other girl that they hired, um, was no longer suitable for the job, and they wanted to try a black girl. That was the exact words she used. And I was so shocked that I was like, "Excuse me, did you just say you want to try out a black girl?" And she said, "Yes, yes, I've never had a black girl work here, so I want to see how customers would react to that." It hurt me so much that I, I just I told her that I was not an experiment. I'm actually a human being with feelings, and I've worked at other jobs, and I don't need to come to her job to prove to her that I am actually a good worker and that I can bring in customers. Um, and then she proceeded to tell me that, oh yeah, no, 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 I didn't mean it like that. I meant that we've had a Brazilian boy here before. We've just never had a black person work here, and I don't know, because we get a lot of foreign like customers. How would they react if they came to buy Finnish work and Finnish stuff, and there was a black girl here selling them? And she used a metaphor of like you cannot sell wedding dresses in joggers, meaning that I was not worthy of selling worthy things, or I didn't look the part. And that was the end for me. I just broke up by crying. And in that moment, I just went on Facebook and I wrote about it. I wrote about how I was tired of proving myself, of how tired I was, of not like getting jobs because of how I look and not because of what I'm capable of doing. And I just went to bed, and the next day I woke up and the thing was all over the place. There were so many comments, so many shares, And I actually got a lot of messages from people who recognized the person for my post. I didn't say anything about the woman or her company or anything, but because of what I said, people who have worked there came to me and were asking me, is it this person, is this person? And I said, yes, that's actually her. And Yle contacted me. At first, it was Iltalehti, and I told them my story because I had absolutely nothing to lie about or nothing to hide, and they contacted her as well. And she denied the whole thing, and she said that the reason she didn't hire me was because on the picture on my CV, I was wearing a gold chain, and her company sells things that are done from trees. And when I read that interview, I just said, you know what? It is what it is. I could have a lot of people were encouraging me to press charges, but having to relieve the trauma, having to tell the story over and over again, I didn't feel like doing it. And till this day, it's something that I've buried in my, like, really deep in my mind, and try not to think about a lot, because right now I have a really good job that I like, where I don't have to prove myself to anyone. And most of my coworkers are like black, which is something that I've never dreamed of. And there is such a big difference